He kissed her in front of me and I didn't flinch. That's the moment I knew I'd already left. 3 years. 3 years of being Mrs. Ethan Cross, wife of the Golden CEO, the man who built empires before breakfast and forgot my birthday every single time. 3 years of polite smiles at galas while his mistress, Vanessa, all legs and venom, stood across the room, watching me like I was the interloper in my own marriage. Tonight, she's bold. Tonight at our anniversary dinner, our dinner, the one I planned because he certainly didn't, she walks up to our table, leans down, and whispers something in his ear. He laughs. That low, private laugh I used to think was mine. I set down my fork. I'm going to the restroom. He doesn't look up. I walk past the restroom, past the coat check, out the front door into the cold March air. I don't take my coat. I don't take my ring off either, not yet. I just walk, heels clicking on wet pavement, until I reach the corner where a town car idles. The driver steps out. Older man, kind eyes. Mrs. Cross, I freeze. I didn't call the car. Mr. Hayes did. He said you might need one. I don't know a Mr. Hayes. The driver smiles gently. He knows you. I should say no. I should turn around, go back inside, play the role for one more night. But my feet are cold, my heart is colder, and I'm so tired of being invisible. I get in. The car smells like leather and cedar. There's a note on the seat, handwritten in clean, unhurried script. You deserve a driver who notices when you leave. Daniel Hayes. I look up. Through the tinted partition, I see the back of the driver's head. Who is Daniel Hayes? A friend, he says simply. He asked me to make sure you got home safely. Or anywhere else you'd rather be. Anywhere else. The words hang in the air like an invitation to free fall. My phone buzzes. Ethan, where are you? Not are you okay, not I'm sorry. Just location tracking, like I'm a package he misplaced, I text back. Gone. The driver glances at me in the rear view. Where to, ma'am? I think of our penthouse. The white walls I never chose. The bed that feels like a museum display. The breakfast table where he reads emails while I eat alone. Anywhere else, I whisper. He nods. Drives. We end up at a 24-hour diner on the edge of the city, the kind Ethan would never step foot in. Cracked vinyl booths, fluorescent lights, coffee that tastes like old pennies. I order pie. I never order pie. Ethan says sugar makes me irritable. I eat 3 slices. The driver, James, he finally offers, sits across from me, says nothing, just drinks his coffee and reads a paperback like this is normal. Like women flee their anniversary dinners every day. My phone explodes. 20 texts, 10 calls, then silence. At 2 a.m. a new message. Not from Ethan, unknown. Number. You left your coat, I have it. And I'd like to meet the woman brave enough to walk out on Ethan Cross. Tomorrow, 10 a.m., Riverside Park, South Bench. If you don't come, I'll have James return the coat. If you do, I'll return something better. Daniel. I stare at the message until the screen goes dark. James clears his throat. Mr. Hayes is a good man. You work for him. I work for people who need help. He pays me to find them. I'm not a charity case. No, James says, meeting my eyes. You're a woman who just chose herself. That's the hardest thing in the world. I go home at 3 a.m. The penthouse is dark. Ethan isn't here. Part of me wonders if he even noticed I didn't come back. I pour his best scotch down the sink. I sleep in the guest room. And when morning comes, I put on my favorite dress, the red one he hates, says it's too loud, and I walk to Riverside Park, the South Bench, where a man I've never met is waiting with my coat. And maybe, just maybe, a reason to stay gone. He's not what I expect. Daniel Hayes sits on the South Bench in a charcoal sweater and jeans, my coat folded beside him like an artifact. He's not trying to impress. No power suit, no Rolex winking in the sun. Just a man in his late 30s with dark hair going silver at the temples, reading glasses perched on his nose, scribbling in a notebook. He looks up when I approach, smiles. It's not Ethan's practiced boardroom smile. It's warm. Real, Mrs. Cross. Just Mira, I say, too quickly. Mira. He says it like he's tasting the word, finding it sweet. Thank you for coming. I sit, leaving space between us. You had my coat hostage. Leverage. He grins. I learned that from your husband. The air shifts. You know Ethan? Everyone knows Ethan Cross. Daniel closes his notebook, tucks it away. But I know things about him that most people don't. My stomach tightens. Are you a journalist? Worse, I'm someone he wronged. I should leave. Every instinct screams danger, but I don't move. 5 years ago, Daniel says, voice quiet, steady. Ethan's company acquired mine. He promised my employees would keep their jobs, that the merger was about growth, not gutting. 2 months later, he fired everyone. Sold the patents. Made $40 million. I lost everything. I'm sorry. Don't be. His eyes, hazel, flecked with gold, find mine. I rebuilt. Smaller company, better values. I'm fine. He pauses. But I've watched him since. And I've watched you. Heat crawls up my neck. That's concerning. Probably. He leans back, arms spread across the bench. But here's the thing, Mira. You're not the villain in his story. You're the collateral damage. And last night when you walked out, I thought, finally. You don't know me. I know you didn't take off your ring until you got home. I know you've planned every charity event he's ever taken credit for. I know you smile through his mistress's cruelty because you think enduring makes you strong. He leans forward. And I know you're done. My breath catches. Why do you care? Because someone should. For 3 years, I've been a ghost in my own life. And here's a stranger seeing me more clearly than my husband ever did. What do you want from me? I ask. Coffee, he says simply. Lunch, conversation, proof that you're more than Ethan Cross's accessory. And if I say no, then I give you your coat, we never speak again, and you go back to a man who doesn't deserve you. I take the coat, stand, he doesn't try to stop me. I make it 5 steps before I turn back. Thursday, I say. Lunch. His smile could light a city. Thursday becomes Friday. Friday becomes 2 weeks of meeting Daniel in hidden corners of the city. Cafes where no one knows me. Bookstores where he recommends novels I devour. Walks along the river where he asks about me. Not my husband's schedule, he's brilliant, funny. He listens like it's a skill he's perfected, and slowly I stop flinching when he says my name. Ethan notices nothing. He's buried in a merger, barely home. Vanessa texts him at all hours. I see the notifications. I stop caring. One afternoon, Daniel and I sit in his office, modest, warm, walls covered in photos of his team. People he actually values, and he shows me something. This is a contract, he says, sliding papers across his desk. For a business deal with a company Ethan's trying to acquire. If I sign, he wins. If I don't, he loses millions. I stare at the papers. Why are you showing me this? Because I want you to know I could destroy him legally, ethically. His gaze is unflinching. But I won't. Not unless you ask me to. Daniel, I'm not using you, Mira, but if you want out, really out, I can help. Leverage the contract, expose some of his dealings. Not illegal, but ugly enough to shift the power. My hands tremble. Why would you do that? He reaches across the desk, fingertips brushing mine. Because I've been powerless, and I swore I'd never let someone I care about feel that way. You barely know me. I know enough. That night, Ethan comes home at midnight, reeking of Vanessa's perfume. He doesn't apologize. Doesn't explain I ask for a divorce, he laughs. Now you care? I never stopped, I say. You did, his face hardens. You're not leaving me, Mira, you have nothing without me. I have myself. He steps closer, eyes cold. You think some affair will save you? I know about him. Daniel Hayes, that failure. You think he's better than me? Yes, the word lands like a grenade, Ethan's mask cracks. For the first time in 3 years, I see fear. You don't mean that. Sign the papers, Ethan, he grabs my wrist. Not hard, but desperate. I'll change. I'll end it with Vanessa. I'm done, I pull away. Walk out, and I don't look back. The papers take 2 weeks to file. Ethan fights every clause. He freezes accounts, threatens legal warfare, sends Vanessa to my mother's house to explain the truth. But his lawyers know he's losing. I'm spotless. He's not. Daniel doesn't ask to see me during the chaos. He just exists in the background. Texts. You're stronger than you think. Coffee delivered to my temporary apartment. A handwritten note. Breathe. I should be grieving my marriage. Instead, I feel light. When the final papers are ready to sign, I meet Ethan at his lawyer's office. He looks thinner, older. Vanessa's nowhere in sight. You're really doing this, he says. Yes. Because of him. Because of me. He signs. His hand shakes as I leave. He calls after me. You'll regret this. I don't turn around. I already regret staying so long. Freedom feels like oxygen after drowning. I sign a lease on a brownstone in Brooklyn. Small, creaky mine. I take a consulting job. Something I'm good at, something Ethan never let me do. And I let Daniel in, not all at once. Slowly. Carefully. He picks me up for our first real date, not hidden, not secret, and takes me to a rooftop garden. We talk until the city lights blur, until I forget to be afraid. When did you know, I ask, that I'd fall for you? He smiles. The moment you walked out of that restaurant. I saw someone choosing herself and I thought, I want to be someone she chooses too. I kiss him. It's soft, tentative, nothing like Ethan's claiming kisses. It's a question. He answers by pulling me closer. Months pass. Daniel and I build something fragile and fierce. He introduces me to his world. Friends who laugh too loud. Dinners where everyone argues about books. Mornings where he makes terrible pancakes and doesn't apologize. I introduce him to my world. My mother, who cries with relief. My best friend who says, finally. We don't talk about Ethan until the night Daniel's company announces a major expansion. The press release goes live. Hayes & Combs acquires Prime Development, Ethan Cross's biggest competitor. I stare at the headline on Daniel's laptop. You didn't tell me. I just finalized it today. You're going head-to-head with Ethan. I'm growing my company. If that happens to intersect with his, so be it. Daniel. My chest tightens. He'll come after you. Let him. But there's something in his eyes, steel, satisfaction, that I've never seen before. Did you do this for me? I whisper, I did this for me, and for everyone he's crushed. He takes my hand. But yes, Mira, part of me wanted him to know what it feels like to lose something that matters. I pull away. I'm not a weapon. You're not. But we both know he never valued you until you were gone. Maybe it's time he learns what that costs. This isn't about revenge, isn't it? Daniel's voice is quiet, almost sad. You think he signed those papers because he accepted defeat? He signed because his lawyers told him he'd lose worse in court. He's been circling, waiting for an opening. He gestures to the screen. This is me making sure he knows you're untouchable. By tying me to your war with him. By showing him you chose someone who sees your worth. I want to believe him. But the pit in my stomach says this won't end clean. 3 days later, Ethan calls. I almost don't answer. But curiosity wins, Mira. His voice is raw. I need to see you. No, please. Just coffee. I won't, I just need to talk. Against every instinct, I agree. We meet at the diner. Our diner, the one I fled to that first night. He looks broken, suit wrinkled, eyes red. I'm sorry, he says. I wait. I was an arrogant bastard. I took you for granted. I let Vanessa, he chokes on the name. I destroyed the best thing I ever had. Ethan. I love you, Mira. I didn't know how much until you left. And now you're with him and his hands clench. He's using you to destroy me. That's not true, isn't it? He swooped in the second you were vulnerable. He's been planning this for years and you're his perfect revenge. Now you're wrong. Am I? He leans forward. Ask him about the contract. The one he showed you. Ask him when he started watching you. Because it wasn't after you left me. Mira, it was before. My blood runs cold. You're lying. I wish I was. He slides a folder across the table. Photos. Daniel at my charity events months before I left. Outside my favorite cafe, at the park where we first met, but time-stamped 6 months earlier. He's been stalking me. He's been hunting me. And you were the perfect way in. I stand, legs shaking. I don't believe you. Then ask him. I leave the folder, but the images burn in my mind. That night I confront Daniel. Were you watching me before I left Ethan? He doesn't lie. Yes, the world tilts. Why? Because I saw a woman trapped and I wanted to help. By stalking me? By being ready when you needed someone. His jaw tightens. I'm not ashamed of that, Mira. You were suffering and you used me. No. He steps closer, desperation in his eyes. I saw you. And yes, part of me wanted to hurt Ethan. But the moment we met, really met, that stopped mattering. You mattered. I don't know what's real anymore. This is real. He takes my hands. Us, everything we've built. Ethan's twisting the truth because he's losing and he can't stand it. Did you plan this? The expansion, the rivalry, did you use me to get to him? I used my own success to get to him. You were never part of that plan. You became the reason I wanted to be better than him. Not just in business, but in every way. I pull away. I need time. Mira, please. He lets me go. I don't sleep for 3 days. Ethan's words loop in my head. Daniel's photos haunt me. I replay every moment, searching for manipulation, for cracks in the foundation. Was any of it real? I'm sitting in my brownstone, surrounded by half-packed boxes because I don't know where I belong anymore. When the doorbell rings. It's Vanessa. Can I come in? She asks, no venom, no smirk. She looks exhausted. Against all logic, I let her. She sits across from me, fingers twisting in her lap. I need to tell you something. If Ethan sent you, he didn't. He doesn't know I'm here. She takes a breath. I was never his mistress, I laugh, bitter. I saw you together. You saw what he wanted you to see. Her eyes well up. Ethan and we were never involved. He paid me to act interested, to make you jealous, to make you feel small. He thought if you were insecure, you'd cling to him harder. The room spins. What? He hired me 2 years ago. An actress out of work, desperate. He said it was a game, that you two had an understanding. I didn't know. Her voice cracks. I didn't know you were hurting. I thought you knew, that it was some twisted arrangement. But when you left and he fell apart, I realized I helped him torture you. Why are you telling me this? Because Daniel Hayes came to see me. He didn't threaten me, didn't bribe me. He just asked if I could live with myself. And I can't, she wipes her eyes. Ethan is spiraling, Mira. He's not letting go. And I thought you should know the truth before he does something worse. She leaves. I sit in the silence. Everything I thought I knew disintegrating. Ethan didn't cheat. He staged betrayal. To control me. And Daniel might have watched, might have planned, but he never lied about who he was. He gave me the choice to leave, to stay, to be myself. But I don't know if I can trust any of it. I confront Ethan at his office. Storm past his assistant, slam the door. You hired her? You made me feel insane, unloved, worthless, for control. He doesn't deny it. Just stands there, hollow. I was losing you. You were pulling away and I didn't know how to. So you broke me instead? I thought if you needed me, you'd stay. You're a monster. I'm a man who loved you so much he lost his mind. That's not love, Ethan. That's obsession. That's abuse. His face crumples. I know, and I hate myself for it, but Mira, please. I'll do anything. Therapy, rehab, whatever you need. I can't lose you to him. You already did. The moment you chose cruelty over honesty. He's not better than me. Ethan's voice breaks. He watched you like a predator. At least I loved you. No, I say, voice steady. You loved owning me. Daniel saw me as a person. Even if he used you to destroy me. Even then. Because he never made me feel like nothing. I turn to leave. Ethan grabs my arm. Not rough, but desperate, drowning. Don't go, please. I'll sign over everything. The penthouse, the accounts, the company shares. Just don't choose him. I'm not choosing him, I say, pulling free. I'm choosing me. I walk out, and this time, I don't look back. I find Daniel at his office late at night, surrounded by contracts and cold coffee. I know you were watching me, I say. He looks up, weary. I know you know. I know Ethan staged everything with Vanessa. I know that too. Did you use me? Yes. He stands, no excuses, no deflection. At first, seeing you with him made me angry. I thought if I could show you there was better, I could hurt him and help you. Win-win. He steps closer. But then I met you. Really met you. And you weren't a pawn, Mira. You are the most genuine, fierce, beautiful person I've ever known. And somewhere in the mess, I fell in love with you. Not the plan. Not the revenge, you. How do I trust that? You don't, not today. His smile is sad. But I'll spend however long it takes proving it. If you let me. I don't know what I want anymore. Then take time. Figure it out. I'll be here or I won't. But either way, you're free, Mira. That's all I ever wanted for you. I take 6 months. 6 months alone in my brownstone, building a life that's mine. I cut ties with Ethan, clean, final, no contact. He sells the company, moves to London. I hear he's in therapy. I hope it helps. Daniel keeps his distance. But every few weeks, a postcard arrives. No return address. Just a quote, a sketch, a line that says, still here if you need me. I date, casually. I learn who I am outside of both of them. And slowly I realize Daniel wasn't my savior. He was a mirror reflecting what I'd forgotten I was worth saving. By myself, but I also realize he wasn't the villain Ethan painted. He was a flawed, hurt man who saw someone drowning and threw a rope. Maybe his hands weren't clean, but they were real. On a cold October morning, I show up at Daniel's office. He looks up from his desk, surprise flickering across his face. Mira. Hi. You came. I needed time. Did you find what you were looking for? I found me, I say, and I think I'm ready to find us. His smile is slow, cautious, hopeful. Us, if you'll have me. Flawed, messy, still figuring it out. That's the only version I've ever wanted. He crosses the room, and when he kisses me, it's not a claiming. It's a promise. We don't fix everything overnight. Trust is slow, built on honesty and time. Daniel tells me everything, the surveillance, the plan, the moment it all changed. I tell him about the guilt, the fear, the nights I still wonder if I'm making the same mistake twice. But we build. Carefully. Truthfully. Ethan sends a letter a year later. It's short, I'm sorry. I hope you're happy. I write back, I am. I hope you find it too. 5 years later, Daniel and I stand in the brownstones' backyard watching our daughter chase fireflies. Do you ever regret it? He asks. Leaving him? Choosing this? I lean into him, breathing in cedar and summer. Only the years I waited. And us? The messy start. Every good thing starts messy, I say. We just had to be brave enough to clean it up together. He kisses my temple. You were always the brave one. No, I whisper. I just learned that leaving was harder than staying, and staying with you was easier than running. Our daughter squeals, catches a firefly, holds it up like a trophy. And in this moment, this small, imperfect, beautiful moment, I know I didn't need saving. I needed someone who believed I could save myself, and then chose to walk beside me anyway.